All right, here's another Heygo rerun for you. May 2022, Central Park 2. That's sort of the children's section of the park. And this one it was a beautiful day in May, and we actually caught the Delacorte clock going off.
Yes, this was fun.
Yeah, we didn't catch that on all of our Central Park 2 tours, but this is a day when we caught it at the right moment.
We
so
did.
Make sure you watch that part. It's quite fun. All right, here it comes.
Have fun.
Oh, hello. Welcome to Central Park. We're in the middle of the forest. We're happy you're all with us, joining in on what's a beautiful day in New York City. It's just gorgeous.
Hello, Tiash.
Yay! Welcome,
Lots
everybody.
of folks joining in. We're glad you're with us. We have a little over 10 minutes before we're going to get going here, but we just like to say hi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm really great, thanks.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
But we like to say hi to folks who are joining the tour. And hot. Hello again from sunny and hot California. Okay. Hi,
It's
Jenny.
Nice here. 71 Fahrenheit, 22
22.
Celsius.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
lovely. Yeah.
Dang, kids. Is that for us? Hey, kids. I'll take it.
Hey, kids.
I'll take it. For those of you who might potentially be new to us, we're glad you're with us if you joined. And I am Patrick.
And I'm Aaron.
And we're glad you're here. So
Hi,
hello.
Jane, dark and damp Sussex.
We'll say this again over the next 10 minutes. But if you're new to us, let us know in the chat. We always like to know when we have new folks on.
Yeah. We can properly, say hello. Yay.
I think you're right. We
Oh,
do usually
thanks,
sit
Jill.
back.
I know.
I'm just realizing.
Trying to move over there?
No, this is good.
Okay. Tish.
What? What are you here, Tish?
We're starting in a little bit of a different spot than this tour normally starts. Although we haven't done this tour in a long time. I don't think, maybe since last summer.
Really?
I can't remember. Sieve. My brain is like, just goes right out. Can't remember anything. Lord.
Yes, it is a gorgeous day. We're so excited to be out and about.
I just did my matinee. We had a lot of school kids at the matinee, so it was exciting.
Last fall, got it.
Last fall, Robin says. There we go. We'll do a little tour, and then I'll run back and do my evening show.
Yeah. Doing a show between the shows.
Yeah. I got a sandwich at work and some pretzels. Ready to go. And a cup of coffee. I should have had the coffee before the tour.
Well, lesson learned.
Did you have coffee?
I did not.
Oh, all right. Well, there we go. Hi, Diane in Vancouver. Did you eat before? Oh, yeah, I ate lunch around noon.
For those of you who may not know this, Aaron and I work for we do Heygo tours, but we are also theater actors. We work in the theater, so that's what Tish was asking about. Does Aaron eat before a show, or do we eat before shows? I do. I like light, a little something light.
Yeah.
Nothing too heavy.
Yeah, nothing creamy, nothing, major. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go there, Diane. Yeah. Oh, and I'm in Mrs. Doubtfire, the musical. Sorry, I just hit the microphone. And Patrick is in the Prom, the national tour that's going to be all over. It is all over the United States. Has been and will be.
We're making our way west. I have a couple of weeks off, and I jump back on the tour at the end of this month. And Seattle is next on the tour, next tour stop. We're there for about a month, and then San Francisco for a month, and LA for 5 or 6 weeks, with a few other cities.
No San Antonio at the beautiful Majestic, right? Isn't that the Majestic there? I love that theater. Oh, it's got that blue ceiling that makes it looks like you're in the sky above you. Yeah.
Hi, Mandy from New Zealand. We're glad you're here.
Yeah.
So let's see. It's early morning there, right?
And welcome, Christine. Hi. Red Hatter in the house. Happy to have you back.
Jill, no, we've both played Seattle a lot over the years. We love Seattle. Although I am playing a theater that I've never played there before. I usually play the Paramount theater in Seattle, and this is my first time at the Fifth Avenue. So I'm excited to be there.
And he was already in Minneapolis not too long ago.
Yeah, we were there.
At the Orpheum.
Yeah. We played the Orpheum.
Laura, you performed at the Majestic. Oh, cool. I love that theater. It's so, well, dare I say, majestic. I love San Antonio, too.
Yeah, Jenny agrees. Seattle is awesome. There's just so many cool things to see there.
Yeah. We're about 5 minutes away from starting, so if you're just tuning in, we're just saying our hellos, and we're happy you're all joining us today. It's going to be a beautiful walk through the park. My only fear is that last week was the same way, and people were taking up our bandwidth, so our signal got a little wonky at times.
We'll see.
I was going to say I did test here, and it was okay, but clearly it's okay since we're live right now. Oh, yeah, you can go to the top of the Space Needle. Yeah, I didn't do that the last time. Did we go up there?
We didn't. I did there the first time I played Seattle.
Yeah, I did. I've done it before. Yeah, I don't think I did it this last time. I can't remember, though. Yeah, it is fun, though.
It's where Disney got the idea for the monorail.
Oh, right.
Right?
Yeah.
You can learn that there?
Yeah. By the way, if you're new to us, let us know in the chat so we can, properly embarrass you.
Yeah, make you stand up and
take a bow.
Recite a poem.
Yeah, before everybody. Welcome. Happy you're all joining in. It is going to be a beautiful walk today, though. It's 71 degrees Fahrenheit, 22 degrees Celsius. And the skies are blue, not too many clouds.
Yeah.
Little kind of wispy cotton candy clouds here and there.
Agreed, Tish. It's perfect weather. The tour has not begun. We are just saying hi to folks. So, hi. And we're glad you're here. For those of you that may not know us, I am Patrick.
And I'm Aaron.
And we're going to get going in about 4 minutes. But we're just saying hi and enjoying the music.
Yeah.
At the beginning, where we start this tour, the Children's District is the official section of the park that we're in. Aptly named.
Yeah. I mean, but it's for the kid at heart as well.
That's true.
Not just the children, but for the child within.
That's
I
right.
think.
That's right.
It's a perfect day for a picnic too. I sort of wish I brought my sandwich.
Brought our dinner.
Yeah.
I know. I didn't think about that.
And we could have picnicked after the tour. That was silly.
Next time.
Darn. Oh well. Welcome all of you joining in. Susan and Sav and Sally and Pat and Lena. Happy to have you with us. Pamela, what's next for me? Even after my show closes. Pound in the pavement, they call it. I'll be could get a hot dog and a Coke. I wouldn't say no to that. But I did already pack my lunch, so I'm pretty frugal. I guess I could save it for tomorrow.
What time is your show tonight? 7 or 8?
8 o'clock.
So typically the actors you have to walk in the door 30 minutes before showtime.
Yeah.
But a lot of people get there earlier. I like to get there early.
Yeah. The older I get, the earlier I want to be. When I first started my Broadway career, I would walk in like 2 minutes before half hour, sign in, and get ready. But now,
Sherry,
Sherry.
my sister Sherry.
Yay.
Hi, Sherry. Sherry lives in Iowa. Welcome.
Iowa. Iowa. Yes, exactly. 28 and holding. Thank you.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you look good. I will say, and I think I've said this before, but this one next to me used his college ID way longer than he should have. Who said hi, Aaron and Patrick?
Discounts.
David and Wendy. Hi.
I'm a student of life. Student of life. So why not? We're just under 2 minutes. Just changing the subject. We're less than 2 minutes away from starting. And if you're new to us, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Patrick.
And we're happy you're with us in Central Park today on this gorgeous, gorgeous day. 71 degrees Fahrenheit, 22 degrees Celsius. Today is we do Central Park in 3 parts. And today's the second part, the Children's District. Hi, Judith, in the Bronx. And
really, this was the third Central Park tour that we did originally, but
no, this was our second.
Was it?
Yeah, all about the arts.
You're right.
About the arts, no trouble.
That's right.
Yeah, it was our third.
You're right. I'm wrong. Right now we're in a fight.
And what else was I going to say about this tour? Nothing else, but it is a beautiful day, so we're excited about that. Oh, last time you saw it was under a lot of snow.
Oh my gosh! Oh,
complete opposite today.
We almost bit it one time when it snowed hard.
Oh yeah, this was that.
Going down the stairs.
This was that one. That's right. It was like 3 feet of snow. It was crazy, but we laughed the whole time.
Yeah.
And then is that when we got to the zoo and the path was closed because of the snow?
Maybe.
So then we had to like go a different path. It was nutty, but it was fun.
Welcome, Becca.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we got home and had hot cocoa and thawed out. It's the complete opposite today because it's just gorgeous. Leslie remembers, yep. Tish remembers, yeah. A few people remember that one. Less than 30 seconds from starting, so get your pillows ready.
Yeah, get comfy.
Or if you want to get on a treadmill and walk with us.
That's true.
Watch us. It's like you're walking Central Park at the same time.
You can grab a cuppa or something stronger.
You can see. Oh, yeah, Diane, we'll see, hopefully, if they're out, yes, we'll be going kind of right along the edge of it, the edge of the zoo. And it's time to go. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Central Park here in New York City. We're happy you're with us. If you're new to us, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Patrick.
And it is 5:30 p.m. here in New York City. It is beautiful. It is 71 degrees Fahrenheit, 22 degrees Celsius. We've got blue skies, little wispy clouds here and there, so we're going to have some beautiful postcard shots along the way of our children's tour here in Central Park. We're doing the Children's District, should say, not necessarily the Children's Tour, because it's not geared for children. This part of the park was sort of geared towards children. If you have any questions along the way, please feel free to plop it in the chat, and we will do our best. Sherry says, no thank you to the treadmill. All right, we'll do the walking. We'll do our best to answer it. We pretty much get to them in real time on this tour because it is a simple stroll through the park.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do skip a question because we know the answer is coming up, so just know that. If we do ultimately miss your question, by all means, we hang out at the end to answer any questions we might have missed.
That's right. Also, for those of you that don't know this, I know most of you do, but just in case there's somebody who doesn't, you can take pictures on this tour. It's such a cool thing that this platform does. If you see something that you like, click that center button right in the center of your screen, and that picture will be saved in your Heygo profile. And you can send those out to your family, your friends, to your sisters. My sister Sherry's on here today. And you can put it on a plate. You can decorate your fingernails.
Those are some of the most impressive things ever. Have you seen those? The people who have like the unbelievable portraits on their fingernails. I digress. You got me there, though.
Anywho,
I blame it on you.
Yeah, so you can take postcard pictures.
And finally, if you're having any technical issues, you can click those 3 buttons at the top of the screen to get some support from the... And I think that's about it.
Yeah, I can see the signal is going up and down. We're gonna start and hope that it kicks back in. But anyway.
Yeah. We are actually starting over here by the carousel. Hope it just ended. But that's okay, because then we don't get folks in our shot that don't want to be in the shot. But this is the 4th carousel at this site since 1871. And the very first time we're showing it on a Heygo tour, because it's been closed for quite some time. So we're thrilled. Oh, our signal just popped back up. That's good. So we're thrilled that we get to show it off. So 4th carousel at this site since 1871. The original park founders actually didn't want to have commercial ventures in the park, and the carousel would be considered a commercial venture, I guess, unless they didn't charge. It is $3.50 currently, by the way, to ride the carousel, $3.50. This particular one, the 4th one that was here, actually was crafted in Brooklyn in 1908 by Solomon Stein and Harry Goldstein. And currently one of the nation's largest merry-go-rounds. It features, it seems like it should be merry-go-rounds.
If we were
it feels weird.
If we were on it, it'd be merry-go-round.
Boo. But it features 57 hand-carved horses, as well as 2 decorative chariots. One of the chariots, of course, you just saw right in front of us. It's really beautiful, and hopefully you can hear the music behind us as well. We've got some
customers.
Yeah, getting ready to get on.
Itty bitty ones.
It does look like the cherub is shooting a rabbit. And the one to the left got a duck already. He's like, I got that duck. That is really quite funny. I've never noticed that before. Take note of the fence as we back up, by the way, too. It's really ornate and beautiful with some of the carousel horses right here on the fence. It's really beautiful. Again, the fourth carousel at this site since 1871. This one was crafted in Brooklyn in 1908 by Solomon Stein and Harry Goldstein.
All right.
Let's make our way out, away from the carousel. Yes, let's see. What's best? You pick.
Let's go this way.
Patrick's picking our route, y'all. We're going to actually kind of make our way over to, up to the Chess and Checkers house, actually. We're going to be climbing up to the top of the Kinderberg, what was originally called the Kinderberg, or Children's Hill. Our signal seems to be strong, so that's good.
Named for the Children's District tour.
Here we go, off the path, through the grass.
Oops, sorry.
Running right into each other. It's going well. By the way, if you're joining in just now, this is our Central Park tour. We're doing what's known as the Children's District of the Central Park. So a lot of the items we'll be seeing in this area.
I'm going to turn around.
Yeah.
I'll zoom in on the carousel. You can see the carousel going there.
Whee!
Lots of folks having fun.
And it is about 5:35 p.m., 71 degrees Fahrenheit, 22 degrees Celsius. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day to be in the park. But I think almost any day it's beautiful, even if it's raining. I think it's still gorgeous. Okay, hold on. We're going to climb a fence. We'll let him go, the bike. Bear with us, everybody. Crossing traffic. We made it. Okay. All right, so now we're crossing. We've crossed the traffic. We're heading up this hill to the Chess and Checkers house. So this is an official visitor center here in the park. When the park first opened, there was a rustic structure up here, and this is where I was talking about that was known as Kinderberg, or Children's Hill. So it was a place for picnics and relaxing and games, and the idea of the games up here has stayed on. So you can see we've got 24 permanent tables all around the perimeter that are inlaid with chess and checker boards, and so you can come on up here and play a game. When the kiosk in the middle is open, you can check out chess and checkers to play the game pieces. Again, Chess and Checkers hill up here, which is now also a visitor center. Let's see if it's open right now.
Beautiful spot.
Oh no, I don't think it's open.
Not
I can
at the
see
moment.
Inside, but no lights on. Should we maybe just show from over
yeah.
here? Yeah, we'll show it from down below. But another thing we haven't been able to show on this tour yet, since we started with Heygo almost 2 years ago, this has been under renovation. This is the dairy that you're seeing right here. We'll show it again from the bottom of the hill as well. A nice sweeping view from the bottom of the hill. And is this in a Jeff Goldblum film? Oh, it might be.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely, it might be. This opened in 1871. It was designed by Vaux, Calvert Vaux, who's one of the two park designers. Olmsted and Vaux were the two designers of the park. And this originally, from this, what was known as the dairy, it does look like an English village, Samara, yeah. They would serve milk and treats, and they had games and a rest area there. It was primarily for the kids, the milk and the treats that were there. Now it's a visitor center, and it did just recently reopen. We're so pleased. It's been under scaffolding for quite some time.
Everything is so lush and green. I love this time of the year. Everything just comes to life.
So as we make our way down the hill here, a little bit about Central Park. It's 843 acres, or 340 hectares. The perimeter is approximately 6 miles, or about 9.5 kilometers. 2.5 miles from north to south, or 4 kilometers. About a half a mile from east to west, or about 0.8 of a kilometer. 38 million visitors a year. 58 miles a path, or about 93 kilometers. I'm going to pause on that. Ahead of us is where the ice skating rink, you can see those white tents, would be. Susan, yeah, you're in New York City, in the middle of Central Park.
Yeah, Susan, there's the skyline right there.
Yep, boom. So ahead of us is where the skating rink is in the wintertime. In the summertime, in the past, it has been like a children's carnival. But this summer, they're doing a really cool thing, and they're putting in a roller rink here. And I'm guessing this is for an event, the tents that we're seeing.
Yeah.
It looks like Soul Cycle or something.
Oh, wow.
But there's going to be a roller rink in here, and I'm going to post an image of what it's going to look like. It's going to be pretty disco fever fun, we'll call it. But I'm excited for that to open. I think that's going to be later in June. And, sorry. We'll come over here and just show off where that is. So, yeah, it looks like they might have had some sort of, it says Cycle for Survival. Oh, I see.
Okay. Yeah.
Sloan Kettering. So they did a Sloan Kettering event.
Yeah, so this is an ice skating rink in the winter normally, and will be a fun disco roller rink soon.
And should we go maybe back over that way so we can show the dairy from below?
Yeah.
So we're just going to climb back over and we'll show you the dairy from below as well. So I mentioned 58 miles of path, or 93 kilometers, 8 bodies of water, 36 bridges, 21 playgrounds, 9,000 benches, 20,000 trees.
Well, we're glad you joined us, Susan.
Susan.
Welcome to New York. We'll try to be your tour understudies.
Yeah, and I hopefully we're a nice fill-in for whatever it was, and hopefully whoever had to cancel, I hope they're okay. So there's the dairy from below. Again, this is where this is a visitor center now, but they would serve when it opened in 1871. They would serve milk and treats here to the children and have games and a bit of a rest area. And Doris, if the building you're looking at right now is what you're talking about, that's the dairy, the one that we just showed from the top of the hill as well. So we're going to make our way around over to the pond and show off the pond before we continue on our way over to the zoo. So again, 26,000 trees we have in the park. It's bigger than the country of Monaco. It is a living work of art. So it was designed by two gentlemen, Olmsted and Vaux, and it is entirely landscaped. They were one of 33 in a design competition. The city had overdeveloped. They made what was known as the Commissioner's Grid Plan of 1811, which gridded out all the streets, and they put in all these streets north of where Manhattan had been settled in the lower part of Manhattan. But the thing they forgot to include in that plan was green space. So there was a big push from the public to implement some green space, and Central Park was the solution, and I think it's a pretty darn good solution.
Absolutely. Susan, no, the ponds, everything is man-made here. So the Central Park Lake, pretty much in the center of the park, can be drained. Can unplug it and just be drained, just like a tub.
Like a big
so
old
it's
tub.
all man-made.
And we'll see that in a little bit. We're going to kind of change up this normal route a little bit to go over by the lake as well. This part of the park that we're in right now was one of the first areas that opened in 1858, although the entire park was not completed until 1876. And the park has a zoo, which we're going to go along, the carousel, where we started our tour today, an outdoor theater, skating rinks that we've talked about, boating, softball fields, biking, hiking, jogging. There's just so much to do in the park.
Shoshana, yes, it is safe. The park is very safe. It's very well lit and secure. It's there are police that ride through all hours of the day and night.
It's open from about 6 a.m. to about 1 a.m. Although it's not like there's gates that go up, but they do patrol it, so they try to not have people in here. By the way, you're going to see some folks in robes. There's a gentleman on the bridge over here in his purple robe, which probably means he just recently graduated from New York University. You might see some lighter blue-colored robes, which would be Columbia University, but a lot of it's basically commencement time here in New York City and all over, actually. And of course, Central Park is a perfect place to take your graduation
photos. Is that the rink
photos.
that Ryan O'Neal skated on in Love Story? I don't really know. It might be.
Ooh, maybe. I don't know. But now we're out on the Gap-style bridge, and we're out looking out over the pond. So the pond used to span all the way back to where the Woolman rink was behind us. There we go. We have an answer. It was the Rockefeller Center rink. So the pond used to go back to the the woman rink was behind us, but part of it was paved over to put that rink in. This is a perfect habitat for birds and turtles. In fact, some of you might even remember, and we had a lovely visitor, the mandarin duck, came in the pond for a bit. Here's a picture of the mandarin duck we just put in the chat. Oh, our signal dipped. Oh, darn, our signal doesn't like us out on the bridge. So we're going to move away from the bridge and hope that we regain our signal. We're going to show the bridge from the lower part of the pond as well, so you get a view of the bridge. Yeah, there we go, and it's climbing back up. That mandarin duck had a little bit of a visit to the pond. In fact, Bette Midler even wrote a book about the mandarin duck. Had a lot of names. My favorite one was Mandarin Patinkin, after the actor Mandy Patinkin, of course. But I thought that was a funny name. So we're going to head down here, and you'll see the gap-style bridge that we were just standing on behind the pond, and then you'll also see a nature sanctuary behind it. And thanks for Kim just joined. Sanctuary much. Just speaking of sanctuaries.
Oh my God.
And I'll talk about that sanctuary when we get down here as well. But the gap-style bridge that you're going to see that we were just standing on was built in 1896. And it was designed by Howard and Caldwell. It's been seen in such movies as Sweet Charity, Cruel Intentions, Weekend at Bernie's, Home Alone 2. It's made of the Manhattan schist, which is like the bedrock of Manhattan. You'll see it all over the park, the Manhattan schist rock. There was a goose just staring at us like, how dare you give a tour right next to us?
Yeah. Should never try to ingest that rock. If you do, the doctors say you'll eat schist and die.
Boo. Boo. I don't...
Come on.
The green space that you're seeing behind it is known as the Hallett Nature Sanctuary. It's named after George Hervey Hallett Jr., who was an ardent bird watcher and naturalist. It's about... Ooh, these geese are getting mad at each other. Oh, there's a fight. Yeah, fighting geese.
Oh, it's three of them. Oh, maybe there's like a...
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh, we're like Natural Geographic right now. I feel like we're like CBS Sunday Morning Moment of Nature.
He's giving them the what for.
And the goose says to the other one.
All right.
So behind this pond that we're looking at, that green area, the green hill up there, that's the nature sanctuary we're talking about. It's about 4 acres, about 1.6 hectares, bird sanctuary. It was permanently fenced off for quite some time, but it has been reopened. Sometimes they do fence it off again to allow for the birds to come back to the area and inhabit the area nicely. Again, that's the
got goosed, I know.
Hallett. I know, Violetta, they can be. They'll like hiss at you and attack you. They're just downright rude sometimes. Okay, so we're gonna make our way over to where the zoo is. I forgot to point out the plaza. Not that I forgot. It's just we got thwarted on the bridge because our signal dropped. But you probably saw the Plaza Hotel there in the distance. We might see it again as we walk. I can't remember if we'll see it on this little walk. But the Plaza Hotel is at the base of the park, essentially in the southeast corner of the park. It was built in 1907, designed by Henry Janeway Hardenberg, who also did the Dakota. Oh yeah, we're going to see it coming up. So there it is, that grand chateau looking out over the park. Imagine having a place at the very top of that building, just looking out over the park in that grand building. Again, built in 1907, this giant French chateau just looking out over the park. And it had a later addition in 1919 by Warren and Wetmore, who did the ornamentation at Central Park, as we talked about on that tour before. That's home to Eloise, the champagne bar, tea, a great tea room there. And the English food hall is in the basement is pretty terrific as well. We're now going into this area known as Inscope Arch. Are the animals in cages? Susan...
in the zoo? No.
In the zoo. I guess you mean in the zoo, yeah. I'm guessing you mean in the zoo.
Yeah, they are enclosed in the zoo.
Yeah.
If that's what you meant. Those geese are free. There.
Yeah, they could have attacked us rudely. I hope this staircase isn't fully closed, but we're going to find out when we get over there.
Yeah.
We're all going to join on this together. In the zoo, yeah. They're in cages. Yeah, yeah. It's like a traditional zoo that you can walk through, and yeah. We'll see this. You'll see. We'll see the side of it a little bit. I almost said thank you, Charlotte, like we were keeping the park, but which we have no say in that or responsibility in that. But I have to agree. I think it is pretty well kept. Absolutely. So, by the way, what we just went through is known as in-scope arch. You'll see a few of those arches around the park, and they basically were built in the 1870s, a lot of those arches. The reason for that is to help pedestrians escape the horse and carriage traffic that brought folks into the park, so you could go underneath. So we just went underneath where, still to this day, the horses and carriages line up to take visitors through the park. So if we were to go to our right, we would exit the park basically at 59th Street and 5th Avenue. We're on the southeast part of the park. And this is where folks would have originally entered the park when the park opened in the mid-1800s. But we're going to go left, and we're going to head into the zoo area.
Thanks, Robert. Yeah, we've both lived in New York for decades, so you pick up tidbits here and there, and I don't know, we love our city.
Yeah.
We love showing it off.
We do our research, We know which ways we know what we like to show off, and so we try to make sure we know as much as we can about what we're showing. We don't know everything, but we try to.
Oh, Susan, you're an ice cream fan. We don't know if Tony B's on today's tour, but he's another ice cream fanatic.
Susan, we are too. Oh my goodness, we love it so much. I also should have said that if we had gone right back there where that entrance is, that's also known as the Public Art Corner. They always have a public art installation at that entrance of the park that's pretty terrific, and it changes somewhat frequently. But they also have the world's largest menorah there. Not right now, it's only up seasonally.
Doris, dogs are allowed in the park, but they have to be on a leash.
Unlike us, we're allowed to roam free.
The geese can roam free. They don't have to be on a leash.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a cat on a leash in the park?
Sometimes, yeah.
I've seen that too, yeah. It always kind of makes me giggle a little bit. So now we're walking along the side of the zoo. It looks like there's an event in the zoo tonight. I don't know why we weren't invited. Rude. No, Charlotte, we're just on the edge of the park. We're Fifth Avenue is immediately to our right, but we're still
within, yeah.
So the zoo is within the park. The zoo is open year-round, except for that one day when we did a tour in the middle of the snow. For those of you that were with us, we were talking about that before the tour started. When we did the tour in the middle of a blizzard. Patrick, there's a dinosaur. Be careful.
Sorry, yes.
Everybody, oh gosh. We're going to be very careful. So the zoo is open year-round. It's $9 for kids, $14 for adults. There's a sea lion show in the middle, and sometimes we can see the sea lions saying hello. Sometimes I forgot to call ahead and ask them if they'd pop out for our Heygo tour.
Oh, we could with the Zoom, maybe.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So this is about 6.5 acres, or about 2.5 hectares. Oh, yeah, I see one playing there in the distance. It opened in 1934, although it was predated by a menagerie. And I'm actually going to post a picture of one of the menagerie cages from the original menagerie that was here at Buffalo. You can see quite a few of these types of pictures online from that original menagerie. They had everything from 72 white swans to a small black bear that were all in this area for the menagerie. And in 1864, the city approved of the construction of the buildings that made up the menagerie. And then in 1934, they used WPA funds to build this new proper zoo, the Works Progress Administration, the WPA.
They're going in and out of the water.
So funny. They're just having a great time in the sun.
Yes.
Yeah, Carol Sue. Yeah, $9 for kids, $14 for adults. Yeah. And let's do a turnaround and just show this building right here.
Yeah.
So this is the Arsenal. Somebody asked earlier about the castle. I don't know if you were specifically talking about this building that looks like a castle or if you were asking about the castle that's in the park. If you're asking about the castle that's in the park, we're showing that on next Wednesday's portion, that tour that's next Wednesday. But this is known as the Arsenal. It actually predates the park. So this was completed in 1851. And it was a storehouse for arms and ammunition for the New York State militia. Again, the park opened in 1858, so that building would have opened 7 years prior to the park. Look at this gentleman on the right. He was just got just a squirrel friend on the bench.
Oh, just feeding.
He's,
okay.
Oh my goodness. Squirrel friend. Right there. We normally don't we try not to show innocent bystanders on our way, but I mean, if you're feeding a squirrel in the park, we got to show that off.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That Arsenal, by the way, that I was just talking about, has had many uses over the years. Police precinct, art museum. It currently houses the New York City Parks and Rec Department in there. And above us is the Delacorte clock. And this chimes every half hour from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. It has children's tunes as well as seasonal songs. We'll kind of vary it up. The seasonal selection of music is now digital. The clock's electrical system was updated and replaced in 2017 by the Central Park Conservancy. But this was dedicated in 1965 and named after its donor, George Delacorte, who also had the Delacorte Museum. The Central Park Zoo is featured on the Smith... Oh, I'm guessing that's not a question mark, but a statement. It's called the Arsenal, Doris. The Arsenal.
Also, Doris asked how many parks there are in New York City. Well,
thanks, Robin. There we go.
Thank you
Boom.
for that.
How about that?
Central Park is the largest park in Manhattan, but it is not the largest park in New York City.
No, it's not. It's actually the fifth largest park in New York City, believe it or not. A lot of folks think it's probably the largest because it's the most popular, but it's the fifth. Pelham Bay in the Bronx, Greenbelt in Staten Island, Van Cortlandt in the Bronx, and Flushing Meadows in Queens all are ahead of Central Park. By the way, I said that the clock was dedicated in 1965, and it was named after its donor, George Delacorte, who also did the Delacorte Theater, which is where Shakespeare in the Park takes place.
Oh, see, I posted a video of the clock.
Oh, nice.
Chiming. Thanks, see.
And he was a fan, George Delacorte was a fan of the mechanical clocks that you'll find in a lot of the European squares, and so we wanted to create one for children here in the park. And it was a collaboration between the Spanish artist and designer Fernando Tesidor, as well as the American architect Edward Coey-Embury. Somebody mentioned earlier about the children's zoo. So this is the Central Park Zoo, and then there is this portion of it that's the Tisch Children's Zoo, geared specifically more towards children, this area of it.
I think they have some, like you can pet some goats in there and different things.
Trying to see if I see any animals out and about. I think those would be rabbits in there, but I don't see them, sadly.
There's the Children's Zoo entrance.
Yeah, those are one of the Lehman gates that you're seeing above us.
You are on the Central Park Children's District tour. So here we are near the Children's Zoo.
Yes, Charlotte, you could absolutely ride a scooter. Yeah. Biking is allowed in the park, but it's on specific paths, and they will tell you to dismount your bike if you're on just a pedestrian path. But the park is accessible, so you'd be totally fine to ride your cruiser.
I think they do. I can't remember. Cats. We've been. I haven't
been in a while.
I feel like they might have some tigers, maybe. I honestly can't remember.
Yeah.
Shoshana.
Yeah. Now, up to our right, as we'll start to see a little bit of a clearance in the trees, we'll start to see what is kind of almost like a gazebo on top of a hill. It's known as a tree house for dreaming. And it's a wedding venue. And, it's actually kind of covered by some of the greens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see. you can kind of see it. Oh yeah, it's totally covered in like ivy and leafy greens, but it's a wedding venue up there. So you can get married in the park. You are technically supposed to have a permit. The permits are not very expensive, $25, but a lot of folks forego the permit and come on into the park anyway.
Yeah, it's completely covered.
Yeah.
We have just under about a minute and a half before the Delacorte clock is going to chime.
Should we go back?
We can go back if you want to. If you have any interest in seeing the clock chime. We're not far, so we should go back. Okay.
It might mean our tour runs a little bit long.
Okay.
But we're already running long because we're never at the clock at this time, and we just realized we were kind of near it. So we're gonna head back.
Right,
and if I recall, the one other time we did this too, the clock was a smidge behind.
A little late, yeah.
And we just chatted for a little bit until it chimed away.
Oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
We don't always see this.
So somebody just joined in. Anybody else who might have just joined, we're just backtracking a little bit because we realized that we're pretty close to the time that the Delacorte clock would chime here in the middle of the park.
Yeah, we're going rogue. There's the skyline of the Upper East Side over there, where the Jeffersons live.
Moving on up. Well, that would be Fifth Avenue, by the way, that you're seeing over there. Because we're just walking along the east side of the park right now. And we're nearing, again, our George Delacorte clock. Oh.
Bless you.
Oh, she did cover, thank goodness. Okay. I mean, don't we all panic now when somebody sneezes? Oh, my goodness. So,
There's an old joke that, like, when you were looking for an apartment in New York City, people used to read the obituaries to look for an apartment. Nowadays, when you're walking down the street and somebody sneezes, follow them.
Boo. So here we are, the George Delacorte clock. For those of you that
we'll go on the other side.
Might have turned the sound off for a bit and wondering why we're back here, it's because it's about to chime any minute now. Any second now. It should be chiming. It's late again. But we thought we would come back and check it out because it's going to play some children's tunes when it does chime. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it was a couple minutes behind the last time.
Yeah.
And
you can even see on the actual clock at the top, it hasn't hit 6 o'clock yet, but it's about to.
I think I'm going to write a strongly worded.
Yes. How am I to keep time in New York City? It's important, and the clock is off. But for those of you that are curious, it's 6 o'clock p.m. here in New York City, 71 degrees Fahrenheit, 22 degrees Celsius. And again, this is the George Delacorte clock. It chimes every half hour from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
I love the hippo who's like playing the violin.
He is quite fun. He looks very Disney-esque. Yeah. There's a penguin, a kangaroo, a bear, an elephant, a goat, and a hippo. And they were actually all created by a separate designer than the rest of the clock. I mentioned the other two designers earlier. They were created by Italian sculptor Andrea Spadini. And I don't know who created the clock itself, but the timing, the mechanics of the clock, but they need to fix it.
I know. It's a clock. It should be on time.
I know. All right. Oh, there it goes. Thank goodness. Welcome, Neely.
Dance around, I think.
Are they going to play? There we go. Oh, look at the monkeys at the top. They're hitting the bell.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see what tunes we get.
Some of the bells need a little bit of tuning.
Yeah, we might need to freshen that up a bit.
What is that?
Somebody said apple blossom
Oh,
time.
there it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lisa Marie.
Apple blossom time. I'll eat apples when it's apple blossom time.
That's not how it goes.
I love my apples in pie.
This is a long song.
This is the apple blossom time. Turns out it's a long song.
It's the second verse.
Yep.
Same as the verse.
I love my apples at apple blossom time.
You're just singing the same way.
I'll be with you at apple. Oh, I like it. Apple sometime. Yay!
A little bit like a horror movie, but I mean, it was sweet. But
yeah, we've only ever been by the clock. I think this is the second time we've shown it on a tour because the timing of this tour, we don't always get to show off the clock. So I'm glad we did a little backtrack. Thanks for.
We're gonna hot foot it now.
Yeah.
We'll try to make up some time,
especially because the clock was late. So I'm gonna start chatting about our next location on our way there. And when we get to it, when we round the corner up here, it'll start to come into view. And that's going to be Balto the dog. Balto the dog, I bet a lot of you know of Balto the dog. So Balto, there was actually in January of 1925, there was a diphtheria outbreak that threatened the children of Nome, Alaska, 1925 in January. And the necessary medicine was 700 miles away in Anchorage. Again, January, Alaska. Picture it. Picture it, Sicily. Picture it, Alaska, 1925. 20 sled dog teams relayed the medicine through blinding snow, sub-zero temperatures, ice flows 5,000 feet, mountain peaks, and a Siberian husky named Balto completed the final 53-mile leg of the trip. And so a group of, we have a little violin player next to us. Well, he's not little. I don't know why I said little, but...
Oh, that's a no-no if you saw the bicycles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're not on a biking path. So Balto finished the final 53-mile leg of the trip. A group of dog lovers and New Yorkers eager to honor this feat raised money to erect a statue in his honor. And it was unveiled on December 17th, 1925. It's coming into view right here at the top. About 10 months after he completed that trip to Nome.
Yeah, and Big Ben in London plays Apple Blossom Time. I don't think I knew that.
Oh, I love that. And one of the coolest facts about Balto was that it's the only statue in Central Park to have its honoree present at the unveiling. And we're actually going to post a little picture of that. Hopefully it comes in clearly. But there you can see Balto right next to his statue as it's being unveiled right there. For those of you that are just joining in, we have about 10 minutes left on our Central Park Children's District tour. This is Balto the statue who completed the final 53-mile leg of a cross-Alaska trip in 1925 to bring necessary medicine due to a diphtheria outbreak. Here's the plaque indicating Balto. The top of it, you can even see the sled dogs there with the sled in the back, the top of that plaque.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to continue up to the mall. Fingers crossed our signal stays nice and strong. Last week when we walked along the mall, it was on the rough side, but this is just taking us to our next location. So we'll chat a little bit about it on our way up there. As we're making our way up to the mall, I'll give you a little bit of history of the park. Like we said earlier, it's only the 5th largest park in New York City. Pelham Bay in the Bronx is the largest. So between 1821 and 1855, the population of Manhattan had quadrupled, and that highlighted the need for green space here in the park. And construction began in 1857 after a design competition. The two designers of the park are Olmsted and Vaux. Their influence is all over the park. Major influence for Olmsted, by the way, was in 1850 he visited Birkenhead Park in England. So if any of you know Birkenhead Park, it was a major influence on Central Park through Olmsted. So Olmsted was kind of responsible for the overall design, and Vaux kind of took care of the finer details, although the lines were blurred a little bit there. For those of you that have been on these tours with us before, we're kind of hitting them all from a different location. You can see the Women's Rights Pioneers Monument to our left, which we showed off last week. If we were to go straight ahead, we'd be at Sheep Meadow, which is about 15 acres. It's New York City's backyard, a big area for folks to lounge and sunbathe and frolic and play the Central Park way. But right now we're going to turn right and walk along the mall with these beautiful American elm trees above us. Just gorgeous. So this is about a quarter mile long, the mall. It's the only deliberate straight line in Central Park. The northern end is Bethesda Terrace, where we're headed right now. The southern end is Literary Walk. For those of you that have done the first part of Central Park with us, which we did last week, this is a bit of an overlap, but we think it's a welcome overlap because it's kind of the one of the most iconic.
This is probably one of my most favorite places in Central Park. You can come to this mall and walk along here any time of the year, and it's just gorgeous. And the fall has these bright orange and yellows that are just a canopy of like this really cool tunnel of color. And then of course now it's just lush and green, and in the winter it's blanketed in snow from time to time, which is just lovely. So I just love this part of the park.
These are American elms that are hanging above us or all around us, and it's the largest remaining patch of American elms. They are protected, so if you're on the top of the tour with us, you saw Patrick and I went through a grassy area to get up to the Chess and Checkers Hill, and we were allowed to go through that grassy area. But this area, even though I do see a couple children playing in it,
a couple of rule breakers.
You're not really allowed to be in this area.
There's a little rule breaker over there doing some sunbathing.
Yeah, ooh,
rebel
scandal. And you can kind of see some structures in the distance to our right. That's known as Rumsey Playfield. It's used for school sports and as a concert venue during the summertime. The entrance is guarded by a cool sculpture known as Snow Babies by Victor Frisch, but also Mother Goose is there. And this area used to be a big playground for children. And because this is the Children's District Tour, we like to mention that. Even though it's no longer a playground, Mother Goose does still reside over there. So if you're going to see a summer concert there in Rumsey Playfield, and you see Mother Goose and wonder why, that's why, because it used to be a playground. It also was there was a casino there at one point in time as well. Yes, there was a casino in Central Park. We have some folks playing some music in the Naumburg bandshell right now. I love that. Totally unexpected, but welcome. A lot has filmed around the Naumburg bandshell and the mall, including Breakfast at Tiffany's. Actually, I'm going to be quiet and let you hear them as we walk by. Other things that have filmed here, Made in Manhattan, Friends with Benefits, Kramer versus Kramer have all filmed in this area of Central Park. So we're going to head down to, definitely Sex and the City has filmed probably all throughout the park, honestly.
Somebody mentioned, where's Paul Endicott? Paul Endicott is a Heygo guy who plays the guitar and sings and is a fantastic musician and plays from time to time.
So we're going to go down under the Bethesda Terrace, and we explored this a little bit more on our other Central Park tour that we did last week, which we'll repeat probably in a month or two. So if you want to see this in more depth, join us for that one. That's the Bow Bridge and Bethesda Terrace tour. But for now, we'll kind of skip by it on our way to a couple other Children's District sites. Now, what I will tell you is our signal sometimes gets wonky underneath the terrace here. But take note of the Minton tile. If we go quiet, we'll take off running. Oh, looks like we have Some wedding pictures happening to our left as well. There's a singer in here. It's beautiful down here today. So this is the Minton created in the 1960s. 49 panels, nearly 16,000 elaborately patterned tiles all over.
The acoustics in here are so beautiful.
Yeah, just
anytime
perfect.
There's a musician or a singer down here, it's glorious to hear.
Yeah, it's rare that there's a singer. There's usually a violin player down there. So here's Bethesda Fountain. And again, if it feels like we're flying by these, it's because we do these in more detail on our other Central Park tour. But we will tell you a little bit about this as we go by. This was built between 1861 and 1864. Took a little bit of time, in large part because of the Civil War. Olmsted, one of our two parks designers, was basically taken to the Civil War to head what would later become the Red Cross. And that was Angel of Water's statue on top. So now, as somebody mentioned safety earlier, by the way, as you can see, the NYPD patrolling right through here, where you cannot bike, but you can drive your NYPD.
Yeah, you're not supposed to ride bikes on the paths, but you can ride your bikes on the main roads. But we did see a few rule breakers earlier.
Yeah, scandalous. The rule breakers. So we're walking along the edge of the lake. You're going to start to see it come into the view on the left. And you can go, as you can see, there's folks rowboating right there. We'll go right past where the rowboats are, where folks load into the rowboats. And we're going to start to see as we make our way down this hill. This is when somebody mentioned earlier about the waters, and Patrick said the lake is basically like a big tub. That's this one. It's sort of like a big bathtub. You could pull the plug, drain it, clean it, do whatever work they need to do. And
yeah, they drained it a few years ago to work on some of the banks, I think.
Oh, brilliant. There's massage chairs in the park.
I know.
Wow. So here are where the rowboats load to our left. There's also gondolas that you can go in the lake. You do need to make a reservation for the gondolas. It's much pricier. But the rowboats, you can just show up. And on nice days, when it's busy, especially on the weekends, there'll be lines all along this path that we're at right now of folks waiting to get onto the rowboats. The rowboats, by the way, are cash only, and one hour rental is $20, and you have to put in a $20 deposit as well. That's for an hour, which I think is pretty reasonable. That's the low boathouse you're seeing right there in the distance. Or not the distance, it's like literally right there. Wait, now which way do we go? Now I'm confused.
Yeah, straight down.
We're going to follow the NYPD.
Yeah.
So that low boathouse was also designed by Calvert Vaux. I feel like we're just laughing because I feel we're just...
Everybody stay in line.
Hi. Yeah. I'm getting quiet as if I'm doing something wrong. And the police are right there, like, watching me. I got, like, all of a sudden I got nervous and panicky. Like I'm going to get pulled over in the park. Somebody do that. It's like the same thing when I go into a store and I don't buy something. I feel like as I walk out, they're all looking at me like, he didn't buy anything. What's he doing? What's he doing that's wrong? Anyway, the Low Boat House, by the way, does have a nice restaurant. They also have a casual fare counter. So if you want to grab some food for a picnic, you can go there to the Low Boat House. We have kind of 3 more sites we want to show off on today's tour. Sorry that we're running over, but it felt worth it to show off the Delacorte clock chiming earlier. So apologies. Also with the CIA. Do you want to go left?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to go left right here, and then we'll talk, we'll first show you a statue, then we'll talk about the body of water that we're seeing after that as we make our way around it. But the statue we're going to show you is none other than Hans Christian Andersen. We've got some graduates posing with it, which is very exciting. It's a gift from the Danish American Women's Association, of course, a monument to Danish author Hans Christian Andersen, who did the fairy tales The Little Mermaid, Emperor's New Clothes, Little Match Girl. It was constructed erected to commemorate the author's 150th birthday. It was unveiled in the park in 1956. wish we could get a clear shot for you all, but I think they're going to be doing a photo shoot here for a bit.
They're going to be here for a while.
They've got some wine in hand and whatnot. Yay. Congratulations! Oh, no. Yeah. I made him drop his phone. All right, this is the conservatory water. Look at the beautiful sun shining off of it today. The conservatory right here is an ornamental pond. It's a skating rink in the wintertime, though it is BYOS, bring your own skates. This is also where they have the these great boats that you can... yes, that's Fifth Avenue again, Lisa Marie, that you're seeing on the other side. So at certain times, they have these radio and wind-powered model boats that can be rented from the boathouse there on the other side. That's called Curb's Boathouse, by the way, Curb's Boathouse. And they have restrooms there, so if you're looking for restrooms in the park, that's a good spot for restrooms. Also, when we went down to the Bethesda Terrace, there are restrooms there as well, down that staircase we were descending. Parts of the book in the 1999 film Stuart Little take place here at Conservatory Water. And it's named Conservatory Water because the original plan here was for there to be a giant glass conservatory. That didn't come to fruition, but the name stayed, and it became this ornamental pond. You probably can't hear it, but there's kind of a New Orleans jazz trumpeter on the other side of the pond. I'm going to be quiet for a second, in case you can hear him. I don't know if you can or not. It's pretty cool, though. All right, we have one more statue we want to show you over here, which is none other than Alice in Wonderland, one of the most popular artworks in Central Park. We're going to round the corner here. I don't see anybody playing on it right now. I'm shocked we're going to get clean pictures of it, which is rare. Usually there are children climbing all over it.
Which is what it's meant to be.
Yeah, it's rare. Usually they tell kids, stay off the statues, but this is the children's district. They want kids to jump and play on it. As you can see, the toadstools there are built almost like steps for kids to jump up on it. This was a gift in 1959 from George Delacourt, who also did the clock that we listened to earlier. And this was a tribute to his late wife Margarita, who was this was her favorite book to read to her children. This is created by Jose de Kreft. And it's also said that the Mad Hatter you see there on the right is a caricature of George Delacourt himself. Somebody stuck some flowers in his hat too. It's really quite nice. Such an iconic sculpture here in the park. So yeah, this is what it's been said that that's George Delacourt, a caricature of him. And at the very base of the statue, all the way around it, are actually lines from the Jabberwocky. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at. Up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky. So, thank you all for letting us run over. Yeah. I hope it was worth it for you. I think it was worth it. It felt worth it for me to run over in order to get to hear the clock, because that's only the second time we've actually heard it on one of the Heygo tours. Should we pop a squat here? Yeah. And, oh my gosh.
Oh, there's the police again.
There, I swear they're
So whoever was asking, I can't remember, forgive me, I can't remember who was asking about, is the park safe? So it is patrolled often with the police around, so... we feel like it's pretty safe. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think we caught all the questions. If we missed some... Yeah, let us know. No, I think Ben, I feel like you were pulling our leg earlier about the Big Ben playing Apple Blossom time. But could be. Who knows? I'm going to put my glasses. Yeah. Because otherwise I'll be squinting. Let me get a pic of your card. Your card. I think I might have my insurance card on me. I don't know what you mean. Not showing my credit card. It may not work. You need my credit card? Oh, okay. Wait, if it's our information you want, that's all on our... do we do... I got you. Oh, I see. Right now we just do our virtual tours, but if you want to contact us in any way, that's all on our channel page. Or you can also... there we go, Jane. Thanks. Jane. You can also go to our Instagram, NYC Tour Guys, GUIS. I didn't mean to be smart about that. That caught me off guard. Genuinely, our card, yeah. Also, if you want to follow us, you can click that link right there. Thanks. I've got good lighting right now, though. The way you turn the camera. Thanks, Patrick. All right.
Or you can click the follow button at the top to follow us. And that, well, thanks, Susan. That way, whenever we post our tours, you'll get notifications about what our tours are. Speaking of that, tomorrow morning we're going to be at South Street Seaport. South Street Seaport tomorrow morning. And on Friday morning, we're going back to Little Island, which is a little island that pops up out of the Hudson River. That's one of the newest parks in New York City. Now you have good lighting, too. It's good. Perfect. So those are our 2 final tours for this week.
Yeah.
And then we have a whole bunch next week.
And then Monday we'll be in Philadelphia.
Oh, right.
So
Yeah.
I'm going home to see my family in Maryland, where I'm from. And on my way back, Aaron and I are going to meet up in Philly, and we're going to do a tour there. Oh, Cam, I'm so glad you mentioned that. We are going to do a Pride tour. We're going to do it. I actually leave town before the end of the month. Pride officially starts in June, but we are going to add. We haven't put it on the calendar yet, but we are planning to add one maybe on the 27th.
That sounds right. That Friday.
We're going to add one. So thanks for asking about that. That's so nice.
And Robert, we already did our Omaha tour, but who knows? We'll be back there again.
Yeah, if we're back in that area, we'll do it again.
And yes, Philadelphia, I'll be eating all the cream cheese.
Getting a cheesesteak.
And somebody asked about performing. Yes, we are performers. So Patrick is doing the national tour of a musical called The Prom, which is all over the United States. He's home for the month of May, which is why we're cramming in a bunch of tours while he's back right now. And I am doing Mrs. Doubtfire on Broadway right now. Somebody's got a boat on the pond. Should we go over?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, somebody just put a boat on the pond. On the Conservatory Water. I'm doing Mrs. Doubtfire, which is here on Broadway in New York. I have another show tonight at 8 o'clock. So as soon as we log off, I'm going to race back to my theater and down a meatloaf sandwich that I packed and some pretzels. And there's the boat zipping away. Yay. So this is, I think, their personal boat. The ones that you rent are much bigger and
they don't have those out at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's looking south. That's those tall, skinny buildings are called Billionaires Row. It's sort of a bone of contention with a lot of New Yorkers because those big, tall buildings are creating shadows at certain times of the day onto Central Park. So people don't want that whole row to get filled up with tall buildings like that. So they're trying to put the kibosh on more of those going up.
Julia, no swan boats. So on this particular water, it's these wind and radio controlled boats that you can rent. So sorry, everybody. We have run way over on this tour. We're going to say our goodbyes.
Thank you so much for joining us, everyone.
Yeah.
We just love doing these tours. It feels like we're meeting up with old friends, in a crazy way at this crazy time in this world, right? So many of us. I love how people say hi to each other when they they haven't seen each other for a couple of days or whatever.
On the tour.
Yeah, on the tour. And I don't know, it feels like at a time when everyone's trying to still stay safe and stay home and take care of themselves, feels good to be a part of a community. So thanks so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you all again very soon. Take care, everyone.
Maybe tomorrow morning, South Street Seaport, which is probably one of our favorite tours to do, by the way. So.
All right, we'll leave you here with the
Conservatory Water and the skyline and the boat zipping by.
Right. Take care, everyone. See you soon.